Hello.
Hiya.
How's it going? Come yourself forward, yeah. Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 11th of April, 2018, and we are live. It's great to see everybody on board. That's how much of a delay there is. So, how are we doing? How is everybody? Can everybody hear us? We've got a bit of a different mic setup going along. So can everybody hear us? Let us know in the comments below. Good evening, Mr. Trudgeon. How are we? Loud and clear. Excellent. Good to hear. That's how long a delay there is. Good evening, the Ball family. How are we all doing? Good evening, Gail. And Jules, I think. And Rich. The only holding the motocross netting in the next field. Okay, not sure what that's all about. So how are we all doing? Did everybody have a good Easter? We certainly did. As some of you might know, we were off away in the caravan. Good evening, Ian, but we'll come back to that. Evening, Kevin. How are we all doing? That seems to be buffering a little bit. Is everything okay? Can we see? Buffering a lot.
Yes, very wet.
Very wet.
Yes, this Easter.
Why are you looking at me like that? Okay, so then, right, let's get cracking. Now this is a little bit late because we normally do these things on a monthly basis on the first Wednesday of the month, but unfortunately that coincided with us being away and we weren't exactly sure as to what coverage we were going to have. As it happened, we were at Strathclyde and we did have 4G, but we still didn't do a live. And the week before that, I was also contemplating it, but again, that didn't happen for reasons of stress and getting stuff together along for our our weekend trip away. If you want to interrupt me and say good evening and tell me to shut up, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind. Good evening, Martin. How are we all doing? So then, so that's kind of where we're up to currently. Good evening, Andrew Barnes. Sorry, I keep and Kate and Finn.
Hi.
Hello.
So as usual, we sort of do this on this day in history and what's been happening. So I've got a couple of things. I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot. And my source where I kind of got this information from led me down a bit of a garden path earlier, and I was like, I'm not sure how credible this source is. So there's only a couple of points. In 1855, Britain's first pillar boxes were put up in London. There were 6 of them in total. Any idea what colour they were, mister? Do you know what a pillar box is?
A post box.
First post boxes that were put up in London in 1855. Any colour?
Don't have a clue.
What
Black.
colour are they now?
Red.
Red.
Yeah. No, try again. Green.
Green.
They were green. Oh, well done, 4x4 camping holders. Sorry, I don't know your name. You got it. Green. Yeah. So, in 1939, now this is the one which I thought, hang on a second, I'm not sure about this. The game of darts was banned in public houses in Glasgow as it was deemed too dangerous. Now, that led me to think, hang on a second, that just don't seem right. Can you believe that? Be banned because it's dangerous. So anyway, I did some Googling around and I couldn't find it other than this one source. There was something on the 16th of April, but to be quite honest with you, I was sort of a bit waylaid and a bit time short to dig into that any further. The other thing is, this week is Parkinson's Awareness Week, running from the 9th to the 15th of April, and today is World Parkinson's Day. 1 in 500 people are affected by Parkinson's, and there are 3 key symptoms to look out for. Involuntary shaking in one or more parts of the body, stiff or inflexible muscles, and slow or less coordinated body movement. If any of those... I'm sorry, it's not a funny thing, but we've just heard a big bang. I don't know if that came up on the microphone, but what has he dropped on the floor?
No, the dog's just popped a balloon.
Oh. I'm not laughing about Python, seriously, genuinely. It's if you do have any one of those symptoms, check out and go and visit your local doctor. Oh, you did hear that? Great. It's it maybe adds a little more context. Another thing that's happened recently is that YouTube have allowed you to see the comments after the stream, which certainly puts an amount of context to some of the reactions that we have on screen, which is always been a bit weird kind of before that, because watching something back didn't really tend to flow very much. But hopefully now with the comments that you can see, it does so. So for those of you who I didn't say hello to before, good evening and thank you for joining us. Finn's just nipped downstairs just to see what the dog's up to. Finn, bring him back up if you want, maybe. Yeah. On to some news then. Don't know if you know, but Swift are running a winner motorhome competition in conjunction with the Mail on Sunday. Today is the last date for the paper, so you had to collect the paper and enter a 10-digit code. If one of the guys, one of our blue spanners, may be able to pop up a link in the chat. It's to win a Swift Besser car. I've no idea which model. Thanks, Dan, for popping that in the comments. Oh my goodness, seems to be taken over by the hound. Here is the boy.
Make it sound like you didn't just request him to be brought up.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't expecting him to be put on the floor, I have to be honest. Okay, he may come up, he may not. So, in other news, where's my photos of the boys? Yeah, I did think about printing something off. Here he is, gonna steal the show, no doubt. Yeah, sorry about not having a picture in the background. That's maybe something for next time. So, we have got some news about Bruno. He's having
Being muted.
he's having the snip next week. Well, not really the snip, just complete removal. Poor thing. So yeah, enjoy it whilst you've got them, son. A week to go. Yeah. So, also the Caravan and Motorhome Club announced that you can now book a year in advance. So you can book up to go away next Easter. So already, which is great. So booking a year in advance. That was posted on the 26th of March. So you can book to get your trips in next year. Yeah, he does look like he's grown, doesn't he?
He's got massive.
And he has,
really
hasn't
big.
he?
Yeah.
He's got big, but to be quite honest, it's a lot of curls because when he gets wet, he does look tiny. So, but yeah, so he's going to enjoy his next week of fertility with his teddy bear downstairs, no doubt, as he tends to do so. But yeah, he enjoyed our trip away over the last sort of week or so. He had a good time, so yeah, he's doing well. Also, the news: Caravan and Motor Club are also supporting Bailey in their Bosphorus challenge, the Bristol to Istanbul. Follow along with their progress. Again, Ian and Dan will pop a link. There we go in the comments. It's great. You can see there's a tracker as well, so you can see exactly where they are at any single time. I think they're in Milan for the evening tonight. Personally, I'm looking forward to following that because the whole travel side of things and touring side of things is really interests me. I'd love to go and do a trip, something similar to that, though I just don't know if our kids could stand it really for currently, well, whether we could stand it, not just that, whether we could stand it. Yeah, big round of applause to Dan for the links. Thanks, Ian. Don't forget, obviously, that Dan will be in touch with them as well, as he's mentioned in the chat there. Yes, so 21 countries in 21 days. No mean feat by any stretch of the imagination. And that sort of nicely brings us along to our trip of recent. Now, I did want this to just be a roundup of what we've done in March, and obviously last week was April, or gone into April, but I think I'm going to safely say that it'll be what we've done in the last month since we did a live stream. Now, obviously, we put out a couple of videos, one on electric hook cable and some advice of which there will be a follow-up video going live in a next week. That'll be next week's video, part 2 to that, which is almost finished on editing. I've just got to do a couple of bits and pieces and then pop it up online. We also did a Cadillac review. Don't forget, there's if you're new to caravanning and wanted to 2 countries in 10 days, yes. Thank you very much. How many counties though? Yeah, so the Cadillac review, there's a discount for Leisure Outlet if you want to get 5% off. Check out the description on that particular video, and yeah, you can get yourself some discount. Just warn our fellow caravanners that Sunday the 15th of April, the Local Motorcycles we're having a race meeting in the field next to Love to Stay in Shrewsbury. It ain't gonna be quiet. Okay. To be yeah, I was gonna say something a bit controversial then, but I won't, about one of our sites that we visited. Maybe similar. 16 counties. Do you think? How many counties? Or how many counties did we travel through? Now, some of you may have more of an advantage than others, because you know where we live. But yeah, thank you, the Blights. I'm glad it was helpful, and also for the water tip. We love our Cadillac. Actually, we didn't take it with us on our recent trip. It stayed at home.
But we regretted that.
Yeah. Well, have you regretted that?
Yeah. We thought it was a good idea and then realised it wasn't.
Yeah. So we really learned a lot from our trip to Scotland. Good evening, Kelly Campion. How you doing? Yeah, we really learned a lot. I kind of I was gonna ask you actually to say a few things about what we kind of learned, but I don't want to give too much away for. No, let's just do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was going to do a review kind of video, so don't worry. I'm not going to turn around and just point a microphone in your face. But from your perspective, Kate, what was it? Actually, it's been quite nice. From your perspective, what were you expecting? What did and you didn't like? And then we'll ask Finn the same.
Well, I was expecting the kids to moan about moving about.
At any given opportunity.
Yeah, I started. Well, having then looked at before we went, obviously knowing that the weather was going to be not very good.
Yeah.
I was concerned about obviously the kids moving about, how they would feel about that. That they were going to moan about that, but actually they were all right. Really, Finn moaned a few times, but then when we got to the new place, it was like, oh, this is really good because.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think you did mind too much in the end, did you?
No.
But so that was my biggest concern, I think, initially. But actually, that was much better than I thought. And even the travel, because we've not travelled that far really. Although we've been to France, obviously a lot of that journey's on the ferry. So the distance, I think is that the longest we've done, mileage wise.
Yeah, in total we covered just under, well, probably about 850 mile round trip. But that doesn't include. That's not entirely all towing. We obviously did mileage where we weren't towing.
But yeah, so it was from. Like I kind of thought, oh no, it's a bit more of a couples thing really to just go and do a tour as such. But actually, it was fine with the kids.
Yeah. I mean, we planned this back in February. There was one morning where we planned all of our, well, we planned France, didn't we? And then we planned Scotland and a few other trips, and it was quite nice just sitting down with a map. And we've obviously got friends in Scotland, in different parts of Scotland, so. That was nice to see them, and the one thing we tried to do was try and break the journey up from where we are up to Scotland, because asking the kids to do 300 miles, you know, in one hit is just, when towing a caravan as well, we just thought would just be not very nice for them, but also for us it would just be incredibly stressful because they'd just be fighting. You know what it's like when they both want to watch the same DVD, or. But Finn, tell us what you thought. What was the best bit about the holiday for you?
Oh, can I say the bad bit as well?
Yeah.
The best thing was probably that I liked the lakes.
Yeah.
And I liked driving
the Lake District.
Yeah. And I love driving the boat. And the bad thing.
It's all right. Go on.
and the bad thing was no data.
No data. No dating. You know, this is the sign of the times. I thought this the other week when Finn had his birthday. It's a sign of the times when the kids come round and they say, "Can I have the Wi-Fi password, please, or the router password, should I say?" But yeah, so to sort of try and bring this full circle, when we planned the first stop, which was definitely going to be a sort of stopgap, we then decided that we wanted to try and, if we could, on the days we were going to have to move, that we would would mean that the journey was less than 2 hours, because we thought that wouldn't be too much to ask the kids to sort of settle down. It allows us a bit of time to get distance if you're obviously on the motorway. If you're on A roads, then obviously not. But a couple of hours was a nice sort of time, and that worked really well. So in total, we did Dumfries. We then went to Killeen Castle, which is just outside Ayr and the village of Maidens.
Hello.
And then we went up to Loch Lomond, spent a couple of nights there, onto Strathclyde Country Park in Hamilton, and then back down to Windermere. So it wasn't entirely a trip of Scotland. It was our Easter break, and the journey back from Windermere was pretty good. Okay, so let's just dive into some of the comments. Where are we? The sun. You can only do it once. Well done, Ben. Okay, well done, Ben. How did you find it? Did I miss something from Ben? Ben passed to B+C Thursday and we're packing up our first caravan on Friday. Congratulations, Ben. I hope you have a great time. If you've got any questions or any queries about anything, just drop us a line. I'll pop a link I'll pop our email address in the description of this video, so you can just drop us an email. And that goes to anybody who's watching this back, maybe not necessarily now live. If you're watching it back, just drop us an email. Any newbie comments, we're more than happy to answer those. I produced a little checklist, which I mentioned. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on our last live, which has just got a few essentials of things we take and a few reminders that we give ourselves prior to leaving home, and also prior to leaving if you're moving off as well. Am I repeating myself? Is that why you're kicking me?
I know.
No? So well done, Ben. Okay. My second attempt, but just instead of Haribo and DVDs, it's toilet breaks and any time this week. So okay, accidental cabinets. Life goes full circle. Okay, actually we did pretty well on the way up there. I won't ruin the start of the video because we only needed one stop, and we stopped at T-Bay, which is a good services, which kind of links me on to anybody who's out and about. Make sure you take some footage arriving at service stations. I've got a few clips I need to send you in. I'm sorry I haven't done so already, but I will be sending them on to you, just for caravan parking and how accessible they are. Okay, you want to read some of these and maybe answer some. Okay, how's the puppy? Hi, wow, how the puppy has grown. Indeed he has. That has to be the worst part of Scotland. Which part? What, the West Coast?
Is that no Wi-Fi?
Oh. Okay.
T-Bay is a great service station. We probably would have stopped there even if we hadn't needed to as well, because that's what you love it.
Yeah, T-Bay's my grandpa's caravan parking areas are often not well signed. Actually, T-Bay would have been a really good one to have got on the to got dash cam footage of. I'm not sure if I have. If I have, Ian, I'll pass it on, but I'm not sure if I have. So basically, as you come into T-Bay, you need to go past where you initially might think, because there is much more parking. This is going to make no sense to anybody who's never been to T-Bay, but all I would say is just follow it around. Hopefully I've got some video footage, Finn.
Shall I go?
No. What did you like about Scotland? Somebody wanted to know, what did you think of Scotland?
I liked it. I'm my full opinion.
What do you like about Scotland? What's good about Scotland?
The lakes.
The locks that we went on.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be going back to Scotland at some point. When, I'm not sure. We've got ideas for next Easter, haven't we? Which we won't say now, but we've got some plans for that. Can you hear that? Let us know if you can hear that.
He wants to be back on the video.
He does want to be back on the video. Yeah. He's stealing the show. Okay. Watching all these channels makes me and my girlfriend want to get a caravan and just bugger off to all these amazing places. Well, Liam, I don't know what your circumstances are. It's not for me to say to go and spend a load of money if you've not got it.
You don't. You can.
You
Buy
don't need
an
to.
old caravan.
Yeah. Ours wasn't brand new. Maybe you could start with camping or with a trailer tent, like Ian from Caravan Gossips did. They started with a trailer tent.
I got something else that I like about Scotland. Was it the last one that we went to? That was the last one that we went to that had McDonald's just next to it.
No, it wasn't. That was Lomond.
Yeah.
We stayed at Lomond Woods, which is in the village of
Is that
Ballock.
what you liked?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd been up to Inverness on the Monday and Tuesday before we travelled Good Friday, so I drove to Inverness and back. And on the way back, we did come back down Loch Lomond, which is not the most recommended route. It's nice if you want a scenic drive, but from a directness point of view, you don't want to be doing this. It had probably added 2 hours onto the journey. So I swung by the campsite and got home and said, "Guess what? There's a McDonald's right next to site," which obviously went down pretty well, and actually worked really well for the day of sort of travel, didn't it? Because we were on site for about midday, something like that. So it's perfect time to just nip into there for lunch if I was setting up and the kids just needed to eat. But it worked pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah,
it was good.
Somebody asked about if we've got any other trips planned as well, which we've obviously got Trudgefest and holiday in July, and that's it at the moment.
Yeah, currently that's all we've got. That's all we've got planned is Trudgefest. We're there from Wednesday to Saturday currently. That may change to Sunday. May end up still being Saturday.
It will still be Saturday.
Yeah, we've got a trip to France happening as well. But that's it. We do try and get away every month. We may possibly get somewhere before Trudgefest because that's not far away now. We may try and I'd like to try and get out, and maybe we need to do so for other reasons. But yeah, anything else that we've got going on? Trust me, I'm late again, Richie Evans. Well, good evening. Nice to see you here, Richie. My caravan was £500. It's warm and dry as any. Dry as any, and tows really well.
That's amazing.
There are bargains out there. Great fishing in Scotland too. Well, great, the accidental caravan. Sorry, I don't know your name. Let us know in the comments, the accidental caravan. I'd much rather greet people by their proper name. But that's great to hear. It doesn't have to be a hugely expensive thing. It can feel it in the beginning, and there's always an accessory to buy, isn't there? But check out CLs and CSs, and you can save some. Phil Harrison, good evening, Phil. Thanks for letting us know. McDonald's gave me a Scottish £5 note today. Okay. It's funny. Finn saw the Bank of Scotland and Clydesdale Bank notes, and he was like, "Hang on a minute, what's this? This isn't legal tender." We should have brought some back, actually.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's one by Longleat, Finn. So get mum and dad here. There's one what?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Is there? Where? I was there yesterday. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so get down to Longleat, guys. You'll love it.
Or is it a lake?
Yeah, maybe a lake. Maybe it's a lake. There's a safari park. And you can definitely hear the hippos as well, so I'm told. And the seals. Or is that Ian snoring or Dan snoring? No. Okay. Free overnight stopping for camper vans, Eden Hall Hotel. 3 miles from M6 to Penrith. Oh, that's good to know. If you are travelling any sort of distance to Scotland, it's always useful to know the somewhere where you can stop for not much money. That's Caravan Gossip snoring. Yep, in Frome. Okay. Now I've almost. You need to maybe read some of the comments because I need to catch up with where we are.
There's not really many questions.
Anybody got any questions? Let us know. Let us know in the chat if you've got any questions. We've got a few bits and pieces that are new. Yes, we are kind of adding to some of our kit. The microphone is new, which I've not sort of done a review on any of our camera kit. To be honest, it's not really changed the fat lot since we first started. I'm just using some GoPro Hero 3s, which are here. So these are not new by any stretch of the imagination. They have their downsides, and yeah. So I wanted to improve some of the sound. So I bought a new mic. There's a new gimbal as well that I've been using, which has taken a bit of getting used to, I have to be honest. And I've watched some of the footage back, and what I have watched back from what we've shot, I'm really, really pleased with. So, but other than that, not a lot else going on since the last video. So what's coming up? I've got a load of travel planned, which is hopefully going to give me a time to get some editing done. Hopefully spring is going to arrive soon. We've got approach footage which will be going over to the guys at Lakes Down, to Trevor and Rich, so hopefully for all of the sites that we visited, they will be getting that footage and they can put something together which hopefully will be really useful to people. And I don't think we didn't have any major issues with it.
No, there's a question about Kendall Club site there. We wanted to stay there as well, but it was like a lot of the sites over Easter were 5 days minimum booking. So obviously we didn't have that long 5-night minimum booking. We've only stayed at one site in the Lake District. I know there's a nice one in Coniston on the water, isn't there? But we've never stayed there.
Yeah.
So we can't really say much about it other than its position is good.
Could you recommend any other?
That's what I'm reading.
That's
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Gail and Mark, who are the wardens at Longleat, who are on tonight on the chat, they said to me yesterday, every caravan and motorhome club site there is no minimum night stay. It's one night can be your minimum. But when we found to be looking to book these, they were all fully booked. So we were looking at camping and caravanning club sites, and they were the ones that were the minimum 5-night stay if we wanted to stay. Now, of course, that's no good to us when we were just looking for a couple of nights on the way back from having already done 8 nights. So that was the issue, wasn't it? And we left it too late really to book. I think for future trips up to the lakes, we do love the lakes, don't we?
Yeah, the site we stayed at, which was Windermere, was really nice, but it's very busy, and so it depends. And some of the pitches would, I think, maybe feel a little bit hemmed in, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't take any pictures or get any footage from. I don't think from that night. Remember when I walked around? Because we made the ridiculous mistake, or the stupid mistake of. Do you want to grab him? Of pitching up, getting level, getting the water in and the electric in, and then deciding, no, we don't want this, we want somewhere else. And the wardens there, to be fair to them, were absolutely brilliant. And I went back to them maybe 2 or 3 times, and I said, look, I'm really sorry. I'm going to leave you alone after this. We want that pitch. Is it okay? And they said, yes, that's fine. But the pitch we'd gone from, when I walked past in the evening, did seem very tight. Now, we didn't really like that, but fortunately for us, we were able to find a pitch where that wasn't the case. Now, I know there's only certain things there's not much you can do about that. Okay, here he comes again, naughty boy. Okay, so have we got any?
Have you ever used lube for your awning, Graham?
What? I used a silicone spray, and it makes a massive difference. Who was that? Who asked that?
I don't know.
Here we go. I've used silicone lube. Oh, okay. Now, we had a new awning for this trip. You'll see that in the videos as we go through. And also there'll be a sort of review video coming back. Now, obviously the awning we had before, both awnings we got before, were used when we bought them. So they weren't brand new. So I think that had a certain element of, there was of wear to it, which I think freed it up. The other thing is the awning rails that we have are not particularly tight, and I think on some newer caravans, the silicone lube is something that would obviously be really useful to do. We've never had to do it, even with the brand new awning that we had for the last trip out. So we've never had any issue with that, have we?
No.
Even putting the new awning up took me a bit of time to begin with, but to kind of work it out, because I did the typical bloke thing of, I'm just going to go for it, not going to read the instructions. Who needs instructions? Yeah, I want the dog. Well. Okay, what else have we got by way of questions? And June. When we went to Safari Park, I just go there, a very good kennel area for dogs. Yeah, that's the other thing. We're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but one of the things that we maybe stupidly didn't realise was exactly exactly the sort of thing that having a dog brings to life, really, and the things, the considerations you have to do. Now, going out for a family day out is, becomes tricky, and that sort of thing. Having a dog facility there would definitely help. Right, Liam Andrew got £800. Is it best to get finance on a guaranteed good caravan or get one on eBay, Facebook, etc.? We are just so desperate to start, but unsure of the best route for us to take. Ooh, now that's kind of getting into the realms of financial advice, which, as somebody who is not qualified, I want to be really careful on what I'm going to say.
We got ours off Gumtree, but the worse and real dodgy ones on there.
Yeah, when it comes to buying, first course of action, I'd say go and find a dealer. You'll pay a bit more. The thing you want to, I might need some help to just kind of answer this, and if anybody's got any ideas, throw them in the comments now to try and help me out here. But there's a certain amount of if don't be dictated by your heart. Make sure your head does the thinking. There's a lot of guides that you can find online. I think the Caravan and Motorhome Club has one which says some of the things to look out for when buying a used caravan, because we found a scam, didn't we?
Yeah.
We found a scam on Gumtree, and we it was obviously it was a scam because they wanted to take they wanted us to pay a deposit for something we're not seeing, and that obviously would just be ridiculous. Why would anybody do that? So just be really careful. You can email us, let us know if there's any specific question you want. Let us know, but just make sure your head does the thought and the thinking, and don't get rushed into buying anything without giving it due consideration. Our caravan was advertised on Gumtree, as Kate said. I didn't realise that, but we were pretty lucky in what we bought, in as much as it hadn't. Indeed, you did, Dan. It hadn't been serviced, which now we're sort of maybe going off on a bit of a tangent, but when it comes to warranty and water ingress, ours was sold with, I think, either a 7 or an 8-year warranty against water ingress. Now that is only valid if you have your caravan serviced by an approved workshop, and they're also on some warranty stipulations. It has to be at very, very specific points, and if you're not compliant to that, then you're out of warranty. You're not going to have a warranty. So the other thing you can do is, if you want to, and it would really, really be worthwhile, maybe phoning a mobile engineer, and asking him to go with you to maybe do a pre-sale check. I know Mick Detheridge, who did our service work, he's a mobile engineer in the West Midlands. He offers that for a price, as you expect. It's a bit like kind of going to buy a house maybe with a builder. If you've got some ideas of things you can do, and they'll maybe tell you whether that is absolutely feasible to do that, and some of the considerations you may need to do. But I would just say, make sure you don't rush into anything. But yeah, think with your head and not with your heart, definitely. And stick to your budget. If you're going to a dealer, try and knock them down. Play them at their own game. As somebody who works in sales, we're all we all know what we want to do. We want the customer, but at the same time, there's always a deal to be done in most things. I had a comment off somebody a long time ago. I can't remember who said that they'd bought a new caravan and it hadn't included a leisure battery, and I was like, that seems crazy. But yeah, haggle. Okay. Here we go. Let's dig into some of these. Any more comments? Boss is home, going to have to disappear. I'm sorry, I probably missed you. I bought the Quest one in new spray. Okay, all good. I'll get good to sort out a dog crash at Longley. Okay, sorted. Ollie on YouTube. Hey, I've been watching your stream for a while now, and I've been too scared to comment. Okay, Ollie, let us know. Drop us a message. I'll take a lot of care of on eBay. You need somebody who knows what to look at. Okay, I think I've maybe answered that still. They all let in water at some point. What matters is how quickly it's caught and effectively it's repaired. I looked at a Swift which was so rotten the body could be lifted away from the floor by 20 centimeters. Oh my goodness. Yeah, nothing is ever going to be. I'll put it out there. Nothing is really going to be ever going to be watertight forever and a day, is it? You know, these things are made from. These things are hand built in the main. And that's, you know, this goes to show the importance of having something serviced on a regular basis, because having you know, and having your own damp meter and just periodically going around some windows, right, is there an elevated reading here, and if so, why? Go and check the exterior, those sorts of things. It sounds really kind of anal to really go round a caravan when you're washing it, but you know, when you invest this, even a small amount of money, or a significant amount of money, you know, you're gonna need to. It makes sense to kind of check that your purchase is still okay. Okay, I see that guy's message was a load of spam, which I suspected it was anyway. But thanks, Ian, for knocking him out. Hi from Sally and Rob in Harrogate, Scotland. Look fab. You've seen some of our pictures on Instagram. I see on Twitter today. There's been a bit of a debate as to Instagram and all that sort of thing. So yeah, we're still on there. But by definition, that flex a lot went toe and eventually the joints leak. I've got to say, some of the roads that we went down in Scotland were absolutely appalling. Some of the potholes were ridiculous, and that's on the motorway as well. That's not always on our roads. Some of the motorway potholes on the M8, A74, M74 were just ridiculous. And we had a lot of rain for part of the journey as well, which you'll see, I'm sure. But you're right, you know, the things moving down the road, it's going to vibrate, it's going to move. Eventually the mastic, if it is likely to fail, and things perish, don't they? You know, we have to live through the beautiful British weather. Not that it's very warm to perish, you know, rubber and dry rubber out, but it's the water getting in can be a problem. We bought a new van 2 years ago and had water ingress at the first service. That's the joy of warranty though, all sorted. Well, yeah, indeed it is. To be fair, I've noticed much more potholes recently all over. I think it's a case of the winter. We have a road, our road as we come off near our house has just been resurfaced, and there's every morning this week when I've been driving to work, there's been what looks like resurfacing vehicles and, you know, diggers and all sorts. I come back and it just looks like a patchwork quilt. It's just ridiculous, but I guess it's a sign of the weather that we've had recently.
There's loads of potholes around.
Yeah, don't say where. Okay, so actually one thing that would, on the note of potholes, I'm not sure if anybody knows, but why not build a caravan that's got suspension? You know, is that too complicated? Do we think? Would that not help against issues relating to that? Is that going to drive the cost up? Is it just not feasible? You know, I'd be really interested to kind of know an answer to that, because it would certainly negate some of the shaking around and potential damage that can be done by poorly surfaced roads. I don't know. Does anybody know any more about that? Let us know in the comments or in the chat. That would be good. Would it make them heavier? Yeah, but how much does a shock absorber weigh? 10 kilo each? I don't know. Maybe more than that. 20 kilo each. But yeah, we'll see. So that kind of brings us to the end, really, of this. If anybody's got any questions, let us know. Our eldest caravan has got suspension, has it? I didn't realise. Don't mention potholes to me. I know about that. Yeah, so that kind of brings us really to the. I've got shocks on my twin axle as well. Okay. They do have suspension. We're back. Are you dabbing?
No.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure how many of you are still here. Okay, more weight on the steadies if the suspension is flexing. Maybe. Okay. So we're going to round this up now. Thanks very much for everybody who's tuned in, for commenting, for your comments in the chat. It's great to it's great to have these monthly sort of roundups and to engage with some of our subscriber and our viewer base. So really appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Thanks Dan and Ian for moderating as always and for popping in the links for us. That's really appreciated. Have a great one. Thanks to Gal and Mark last night for serving me a cuppa and for your hospitality. We will definitely be down to Longley. When, I'm not sure yet, but we cannot wait to get down there. Thanks very much, guys. So that just brings us to say have a great April for the rest of it. We look forward to hearing from everybody and what you've been up to. Next week is going to be our part 2 of our electric hookup video. Then we're going to start some of the Easter trip videos along with some site tours and that sort of thing. So there's lots of content coming up from that trip away. Hopefully there's a few other products reviews coming up. But good night everybody and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.